Oh, Shad has picked up on that thing, right?
They found it?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that?
Exactly. There's a lake, right, next to Geneva. Exactly. So there is a Swiss naval path, basically. So if you somehow would end up on a coastline, I don't know how that would
if
happen.
If you get to a coastline, you should be rewarded for your heroism.
Exactly.
With some very cool things.
Exactly.
Hello there, and welcome back to the 6th feature stream. And today we're going to be talking about Old History Switzerland. And I'm joined by John, one of our QA testers. And John, talk a little about what you do as a QA tester.
Yeah, so QA stands for quality assurance, which means absolutely nothing. No, but what we do is test the game, mostly. And that means everything from like finding out bugs or if something is actually doable to like, is the game fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. You basically made sure that our fans have a better experience upon release.
Exactly.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna get into showing you a little bit about the different paths you can take as non-historical. So we're gonna suggest the fascist, democratic, and also the different non-aligned areas.
Exactly.
So I guess we'll just jump right into it and have a look on the fascist one.
Yes. So our fascist path is to the first of the right here. And basically what you do is that you prep up first of all to become fascist. So you do a little bit of military exercises with the Germans, you get some of their industry, and then further along you go the very non-Swiss thing and you abandon neutrality.
That is very non-Swiss indeed.
Exactly. That thing you had for 600 years?
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
No. Thing of the past.
Exactly. So in that case, you have a choice of either going with two of the characters, which means that you're either going to be independent, and in that case you can join the Axis as an independent nation, or you can become a puppet. But like, why would you want to become a puppet, right?
Because you might be able to get something for Germany for doing so.
Yes, exactly. So basically what you can do is that you ask for stuff. So you can ask for Vorarlberg, my favorite state in the whole game. This little beauty over here. Our second favorite. And then you can ask for Austria. So basically you are, in that case, unanschlussing the Anschluss. And then if something would happen with Italy, if like somebody shows up in Sicily, wouldn't know why that happened, but possibly, you can ask German-controlled Italy and get that. Or some of the French states. And the end thing here is, well, Switzerland is it's a pretty great name. It served its purpose for a couple of centuries.
But I think it has too much neutrality in it.
Exactly. And I mean, like, what else is there to Switzerland than just a name? I mean, mountains,
but
right?
More like Alps.
Exactly. I've heard about those.
Yeah,
exactly. And like, if we got all this stuff right, we're reigning supreme. Therefore, we have the Alpine supremacy.
While our little photos are happening, we can look a little bit on what the other path, what's going on there.
Exactly. So you guys already showed off. Whoa. Okay. So that was a bad call. But basically,
went a bit faster.
Exactly. So basically, you guys showed off the historical path, which is in the middle, and some of these building up, right?
Yeah.
But like, let's say you don't want to go fascist. You're feeling a little bit, well, nice.
That's where we're putting it.
Yeah, exactly. Nicer. Exactly. Then we have a couple paths here. So either you go with the Allies, right? So you start purchasing some stuff from the Americans, getting some like investments from them and stuff like that, building ties basically. And then, well, I feel this is going to be the theme of the stream, right?
Yeah.
You become unneutral basically. You do all the things that Switzerland normally doesn't do, right?
Yeah.
So you join the Allies. And then as with a lot of other places, you can build up because, well, you're gonna be surrounded by all enemies, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna need all the help you can get when Germany and Italy comes knocking at your door. So we have a couple of things here where it's like you get a lot of tech, and in the end there is some other things that you might be able to
Yeah,
get.
you know, some weapons of
Yeah, exactly.
democracies.
Exactly. Weapons of neutrality? No.
The unneutrality.
The unneutrality,
Yeah.
exactly. And if that doesn't pan out, you can also just become exiled.
Yeah.
Or if you're feeling like, hey, I'm like being independent is pretty dope, but
Yeah.
like having someone do everything for you
It's also pretty dope.
is also pretty dope, right? You can get some pretty hefty like defensive fortifications along with these things. And you become a French puppet. I'm not going to say which my favorite part is, but as a Frenchman you can take your own guess.
Yeah. Maybe you even open some bakeries in Switzerland.
Exactly. I mean, they can't only have chocolate, right? You have to put some bread around that chocolate.
Chocolate sandwiches?
Pain au chocolat, it's basically chocolate sandwiches, right?
Yeah, that's
Exactly. Yeah. And basically here as well, it's like, as we said, Switzerland, dope name, but
it's not dope enough.
it's not dope enough, exactly. So,
You know.
you can switch to being the Alpine confederacy.
Why being, passive when you can be aggressive?
Exactly.
Yeah, so, maybe you should peacefully expand those borders, so to speak.
Exactly. And what you do then is that you go with the Gotthardbund. And yes, that pronunciation was
Glorious.
absolutely.
It was very French.
Thank you. Yeah, and similarly to the fascist path, here you will ask very kindly for Vorarlberg. So, best state in the game, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Almost feel like there's a reason for it.
Exactly. And if you go that path, you can do something to really mess with your northern neighbors and preempt the Anschluss. So basically, what happens here is that Switzerland gets Austria gets a choice. Basically, where Switzerland goes like, you should totally join our confederation.
Yeah.
Like, it's been great.
It's pretty cool. We have shot
Yeah, exactly. It has existed for so many years. Like,
Yeah.
so basically, they get the choice. They can join you, or they can say no, and then you can declare war.
Yeah, as we think our confederation is pretty cool, and it has to expand.
Exactly. Everyone needs to understand the Swiss way of life, right?
Yeah.
Here's a little tip for you people. Like, get Austria to agree. Like, one of the big things that is pretty good for Switzerland is that you have some very defensive mountains.
Yeah. Austria has them as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple playthroughs where that hasn't really panned out as great as I wanted it to. But you live and you learn.
Yeah, I did notice in Chateau from History Lore that they noticed a little focus there.
Oh.
A little focus.
Protect Liechtenstein. Yes.
Oh, what is that?
So basically what this does is that you actually get Liechtenstein on the map. And you get a little bit of civ bonuses and a little bit of middle bonuses. Because, well, let's say you're not the most diplomatic in this part, right? So what you do is that you are going to need all the help you can get, basically. So that allows you to build up Vorarlberg, and you get a little
something, a little
something.
victory point.
Exactly. And there you have a little Liechtenstein. Yeah. Unfortunately, Hoi map is not big enough, so we couldn't make it like its own country because it isn't detailed enough. But you get the little Liechtenstein on the map.
Yeah. It's there in spirit.
Exactly. Here is basically like you are demanding things, so there's a little bit more risk here, basically. So basically, you ask for you demand things.
Yeah.
And
you roleplay a little bit of Germany there.
Exactly. Yeah, mountain Germany. Alpine.
Yeah, mountain Germany.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then, why not make a little protectorate of the Alpines?
Exactly. So, I mean, we have to prove that we are protecting
Yeah, of course.
our mountains.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like this is sort of dwarf themed, almost like we're a little like
The lonely mountain.
Exactly. Yes. And here you can see like, well,
I think France, Germany's scary, so we should protect them.
exactly. We need to aggressively protect the French. And
we might need to liberate Italy from Mussolini.
exactly. I mean, they seem to need some help there in the south, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, the Germans, they've been great, but they've made some bad choices, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, well, we're gonna show them the right way.
The way to go.
Exactly. But you have two choices here, right? And the other way that you can do is basically that, well, we already stated this, right? We need to expand the confederation because people need to understand, like,
It's the best confederation.
it's the best confederation. The only one that's worth it, right? So then you can start influencing different parts of the map
Yeah.
where they can choose to join you, basically. But we also proved that, like, perhaps not everyone in Switzerland wants this, but there is a group who needs to, or who basically shows that, or that is governing Switzerland, that it shows that this is the right way.
Yeah.
Perhaps the populace isn't right.
Yeah, the people don't know what they want. We
Exactly.
give them what they want.
Exactly. So basically, we have a little guy here. You might recognize him, Henri Guisson, who's also a part of the historical branch. And basically, he will show that, like, Switzerland needs their strong man to.
Yeah. They need the strong man.
The
to lead them.
strong man,
The
exactly.
strong man.
But finally, all Swiss realize, even the Swiss that doesn't know there are Swiss yet and that will become Swiss, that, like, well, new Switzerland is pretty great, but so was the old one. So there you get the choice to go back to being the starting Switzerland, in the sense of, like, we are neutral now. The world is at peace.
Yeah, we're like, oh, okay, here's where we start.
Yeah.
We're gonna borrow some stuff. And like, that's pretty fun. Let's go back to the old stuff.
Exactly. I mean, it's an adventure, right? You go out on an adventure, have some fun, meet some friends, mess up some stuff.
You could say it's an adventure, but I think also I saw a little message in one of our Dev Diary forum posts about, so it's basically a trial run for 7 days.
Exactly.
At World Conquest.
Yeah. So, but then you always want to go home, right?
Yeah.
Best place is home. Yeah. And no, we're kind of proving here that Austria is not already Mountain Germany. Like, Switzerland is proper Mountain Germany.
Yeah, no, this is true. Like, Switzerland can do Anschluss before Anschluss was cool.
Exactly.
So, like, what's more Mountain German than that?
Yeah. Exactly. And, oh, Shad has picked up on that thing, right?
They found it?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that?
Exactly. There's a lake, right, next to Geneva. Exactly. Yes. So there is a Swiss naval path, basically. So if you somehow would end up on a coastline, I
Yeah,
don't know how that would
if
happen.
you get to a coastline, you should be rewarded for your heroism
Exactly.
with some very cool things.
Exactly. Like very, very great
Bonuses.
Absolutely. Can also show here, like, sure, you can choose to go offensive. And what does that mean as Switzerland? We have it spread out a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
So, like, you guys talked about the militia system, right?
Yeah.
Well, militias are great. It's cool. But some people just want to mess around with divisions.
Yeah.
So, in some different parts of the focus tree, we can change back so you get normal divisions. You go with a proper army.
Mhm.
You're not just a bunch of people who took a 2-week course and then got a rifle.
Absurd.
Exactly. It's not the Swiss way.
We need mob with pipe.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have that choice here, a little bit over here in the fascist path. If I actually exactly here, professionalized militia. So you might want to go historical, but if you don't go historical, you can. I mean, you could like conquer the world with militias, right? But
Yeah, you could, and like I think that's pretty cool. But
Yes.
if you wanna play on, you know, non-cool mode, you could make a
Yeah.
professional army and have things that are not militias.
exactly. I mean, yeah.
Maybe you wanna have like tanks and stuff.
I mean, you just want to fit in with the rest of the world, right?
Yeah,
and
sort
having
of
an
fitting
army.
in, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what is it? You know, standing a professional army. Sounds a bit Swedish.
Exactly. Professional. I'm barely professional. Yeah. So, basically, or we have a little other choice in this specific part of the branch where it's the neutral entente. And here's basically you're going, yo, we're not part of this.
Yeah,
But-
it's not our problem,
Nope.
but we do exist.
Exactly. But we also don't want to be alone. So if anybody else just wanna like yeet out of this world war, it's like
Best friends forever.
exactly. And yeah,
Yeah.
so you get to form your little faction, and you get a couple of decisions. So you can
Yeah.
just go around the world collecting friends all over.
I think one of our early diaries made a little fun post about this, but be Swiss, be neutral, make fun do.
Exactly.
That's the way to go. It's just an infinite circle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of disappointed that we don't have a focus for fondue.
Things happened. I blame Carlo.
Oh man.
Things happened, but we do have. I mean, we showed this last time, but the Doge, the Saint, Spirit of Saint Bernard.
Yes.
Like, there's an infinite thing here.
An infinite thing.
Yeah, he's infinite.
Yes.
He's forever.
That is true. That is
Field
true.
hospitals for the win.
Exactly.
Like, they are stronger than people.
Exactly.
Look at those bonuses.
They're amazing. And I mean, it's Switzerland. Like, if you're playing historical or if you're playing with militias,
Yeah.
you get a lot of bonuses to manpower, but it's also good if you keep that.
She's focus.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yes.
in spirit.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not content. Like, I wish this was a thing. I just test it. Like
You can model in.
that you can do.
That you can do. But with that, we're still going to take a short intermission break, where we will come back with one of the programmers, which we'll be playing the game actually then. So we're gonna try to do the fascist path and somehow not die as Switzerland. It'll be hard, but we'll try. Until then, thank you for joining me, John, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye bye.